gave me the stimulus and the stimulation that I was looking for. And yeah, that's what I built my career and my life on.
Well, there's many achievements there and really amazing ones, and we would like to commend you on that. You've definitely, let nothing stop you, and that's what we're trying to entice people to understand today. That irrespective of the challenges you face, there are ways to overcome it, and maybe it's I think those challenges come to actually give us direction and focus.
Is so true. I always say you learn out of every single situation that you find yourself in, good and otherwise. We've just got to look for the learnings. Some things you're going to repeat again, others you might want to repeat again. But there's definitely a learning in that. And I think, focus on the we can take from everything that we involve ourselves with.
Yes. Lydia, let's talk about the interdependence, between mental health and physical health. I think a lot of times people don't look at it in the same space as such. We need to understand, especially during this COVID-19 period, how important it is for us to be able to be physically healthy as well as mentally healthy, and that they both affect each other in, one way or the other. So basically, we really looking at this co-relationship between the two.
Yeah, that's so important, and as you mentioned, in today's day and time, especially, I always relate it to a car. If you think about your car, you've got to service it, you've got to give it petrol, you've got to inflate the tires, and your mind is exactly the same thing. If you don't take care of your body, you can't take care of your mind. And those two things need to help one another. It's not separate entities. They are independent or interdependent. And so that physical activity has such a positive psychological benefit to mental health today. And, mental health is something that we know is so important because it's got such a huge impact, not only on ourselves, but on everybody around us as well.
That's so true. And, now that you're talking about that, as we know, as in this particular period and era that we're in, mental health is actually one of the biggest issues that we're facing and not realizing. And I mean, of course, it is difficult, though, because, a lot of the spaces that you would use to go and run or walk or whatever has been closed due to this pandemic. But I'm sure there's other ways in order for us to deal with it.
Very much so. And, if we talk about that, the mental health issues, just quickly talking about anxiety and depression. So this morning, I run Zoom sessions, and those are exercise Zoom sessions every morning for my clients. 6 o'clock in the morning, and we have a good workout with music, and we laugh and we have fun. But that is just to keep us physically as well as mentally in a good space. So yes, there are plenty of ways to do that and to make sure that physical activity don't really want to go to the gym.
Sorry,
at this point in
Lydia,
time.
we seem to be breaking up there as far as the connection is concerned. Let me see if I can hear you now. Hi, Lydia, are you still on the line? Let's see if we can get Lydia back on the line. That signal seems to be quite bad over there. And I think she's making sense with what she's been saying in the interim, is that, our mental and physical health go together. They're interlinked. And if we don't look after our physical health or our mental health, then one or the other is, of course, going to get affected. And what happens inevitably is, I think we always try to look after our physical health, not realizing how important our mental health is. And I think we've got Lydia back on the line. Lydia, thank you. We were just talking about this interdependence here and how important it is, of course, to, as you were saying, to get up, entice your clients in the mornings to do that physical exercise and then get their mental well-being in a different space. Because a lot of the times, as we were saying, the one affects the other.
Very much so, as we say, it's independent. So exercise, the image was all of those things that have an influence on our health. But it starts with physical.
We're just
That's the
gonna,
mental
Lydia, we're
side.
gonna go for a quick break and see if we can get you back on the line. The line seems to be quite bad. Stay with us. This is a very interesting conversation, which I don't think we should actually elude. We'll be back with you in a few seconds. Stay with us.
Connect and stay ahead with Salam Media. This is Salam Media, coming to you live from South Africa.
Did you know a sponsored water well and borehole allows children to go back to school, empowers communities, and is a means of sadaqah jariyah for you? There are many villages in Africa and Afghanistan that are in need of water wells and boreholes. Africa. Sponsor a water well in Africa for just 12,000 rands, or a borehole in Africa and Afghanistan for 49,500 rands. Call Africa Muslims Agency now on 011 834 8685 or donate online at africamuslimsagency.co.za. Africa Muslims Agency, inspiring the spirit of giving.
Freedom Stationery supply Marlin and Marlin Kids pens to me and my school friends. They supply just about everything we need to help us get a better education, from books to files to rulers. In fact, any any accessory we need. Freedom Stationery. Education for the nation. What does accessory mean?
Cape Town Tours. Luxury service at affordable prices. Anytime, anywhere. Services include airport transfers, sightseeing, customized full-day tours, Islamic historical site tours. This is Kramarks, mosques, Boerkaap, etc. Long-distance trips available like West Coast, Mykonos, Hermanus Garden Route, etc. All transport in and around Cape Town to meet your needs. Very versatile and flexible. Safe and reliable transport in an air-conditioned luxury car. Contact Gulam on 071 346 7069 or 074 191 6144.
Connect and stay ahead with Salam Media. This is Salam Media, coming to you live from South Africa.
Welcome back to the Nafeesa Dangor Show. We seem to be having technical issues with Lydia Roux discussing the interdependence of mental health and physical health. But I think we will tap into that next week again around the same time. So do tune into that next week. It's a very interesting conversation, and I think it affects every single one of us. In studio with me, I have my producer, Zikia, and we're just going to be tapping into some of the things she said where we got the gist of the situation. Lydia and I were just talking about how a lot of the times we pay so much of attention to our physical health by going to the gym and, running and things like that. And of course, now during COVID, it's been a lot more difficult to do it, but people have found ways around it by exercising at home and stuff like that. But I think we don't realize how the two are so co-linked. And a lot of the times, and the issue right now, the main issue we're dealing with is mental health.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Lydia as well as yourself when you say that it's linked, it's very closely linked. Because I think if your mental health is not good, your physical health is going to suffer, And I think, unfortunately, it's just that there's so much of stigma around mental health. So it's like you rather keep it hidden, but that's silly thinking. I mean, what do you think?
I agree with you. And I think a lot of the times there's so many subjects that they take and just mark it and put it under the mat and try to forget about it. But I think the important factor about this is having to go in and find the necessary solutions to help yourself move forward in life. And this is what it's about, especially during this COVID-19 period. There's been a huge bound issue of mental health going around, and it's been affecting physical health as well because people have not been as active due to the lockdown. And I think it's about having to try and find that balance. So we were working ways around it, myself and Lydia, to say how we can deal with it. As they say, you've got to change things for your opportunities, depending on the types of circumstances and situations that you find yourself in. And I'd so agree with that, because the thing is, being in the space right now, I think we can still exercise at home, do a few things that are going to keep us going. Even it's just a few push-ups or running on the spot or up and down our staircase or something.
Yes.
It is going to, of course, make a difference. And this is what we were talking about. But I think the mental space needs a lot more tapping into. Because I don't know if you'd agree with me. Every single one of us, including ourselves sitting here, have mental health challenges. And it's not something that we need to hide or be ashamed of. It comes with the circumstance that we're in.
Yes, 100%. Like you said, the same way where you might feel like you have a physical ailment or a physical pain, and you unashamedly go out there and say, you know what, I am sick, I need a doctor. If you need a mind doctor, you shouldn't be ashamed to say it, because like we're saying, it's if not more important than physical health. So I think the stigma really needs to be broken around that. And I think we're making good headway with all the mental health awareness campaigns out there and the NPOs. So I think that's one positive thing we can take away from that.
Yeah, and people like Lydia, I mean, she was talking about anxiety and depression, and that's what's stemming out of everything. Because if you look at where people were and where they're at right now, it's like almost a sudden dip in their lives. Something that's just come about, like a sudden mudslide, I should say. So I think it's about having to educate them on how to deal with it better. And we'd love to get Lydia Roux on the line next week again, on the same time on the show. So if you've missed out on this, unfortunately, she seems to be having a technical issue in her area due to some electrical problems. So what we're saying is we're discussing this topic right now because we understand the importance of educating you on how to deal with it, but also giving you that support structure to know that there's ways to be able to get around it and put yourself into a better space. And I keep using that word because the spaces we're in right now is not of a healthy version as such. I'm sure you'd agree with me.
Yes, definitely. I think you're saying that we need to find better ways of dealing with our mental health. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I think that's very important. It's something we should definitely look into, seeking healthy options, maybe speaking to people, stuff like that. But then also, like we're saying, let's not forget the physical side of it. Like Auntie Nafeesa also said, jog on the spot, do something in your space, but make sure you're doing something.
You're speaking to the worst person right now because I think I'm one of those few that are guilty of not taking care of my physical health at the moment.
Oh, really?
But I think I don't know about you, but I don't know if Lydia would agree with me if maybe walking in a mall will work.
It counts.
Because you add your steps on as you go. But as I was saying, maybe in your backyard, doing some push-ups, running up and down a staircase.
100%.
That's about, I think, the way of dealing with it for now. And then we'll chat to Lydia next week and see how we can help all our listeners out there to entice them to change the way their mental and physical health is.
I am actually really looking forward to this because it's a much needed topic, and looking forward to it.
Most definitely. So that's what we're saying. Stick with us next week, Wednesday, between 2 and 2:30, and we'll get Lydia Roux on the line again, and we'll work you through this particular situation and educate you on how to help you get over it. We're going to go for a quick break. Stay with us. We're going to be having a very interesting gentleman after the break. How many of us pass guys standing on the side of the road, and Zakia, you'll agree with me, with placards actually asking for some money? But Ayanda, he showed us a different way of finding work.
Absolutely.
And it was very funny. A family member asked me the other day, I can't get a job. And I said to him, maybe you should try Ayanda's route. I don't think everybody's as daring as he is.
But kudos to him, though.
Yeah. So stay with us. We're going to be having him after this break.
Salam Media, a global voice for humanity.
It's a wonder how kids get anything done these days. With all the distractions, when do they even get time to study? As a mother, all I can really do is make sure they have all they need to perform at their best. That's why I choose to include Sunfoil, triple refined pure sunflower oil with every meal I make. Naturally cholesterol-free and approved by the Heart and Stroke Foundation as part of a balanced eating plan. So whether I'm cooking, frying or baking, I know every dish will be a wholesome one. Sunfoil, now we're cooking.
They say breakfast is the most important meal of the day, yet many children go to school hungry because of poverty. Penny Appeal's Breakfast Club aim to get a warm, hearty meal to underprivileged children so they can spend the day prospering in their schoolwork. Help feed a needy learner by visiting our website on www.pennyappeal.org.za or call 031 1100 573 to find out how you can donate. Penny Appeal. Small change, big difference.
DoosieMed Medicine Depot Retail Pharmacy and Emergency Medical Depot. Conveniently situated in the DoosieMed Medical Center, corner Burger and Bosser Street, Pietermaritzburg. We provide safe, affordable and convenient medical facilities. Open till 10 p.m. every day of the year. We have a full house clinic that operates from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m., which is run by a qualified sister. The clinic offers immunization, vaccination, wellness, general consultation, and more. Call DoosieMed Medicine Depot on 033 3421 DoosieMed Medicine Depot, your pharmacy of choice.
Enduran Boys College is an independent boarding and day school situated on the N1 highway in Polokwane. We encourage intellectual and emotional development through a holistic learning environment. We follow the NCS CAPS curriculum and house boys from grade 6 to 12. We have boarding facilities also available from grade 6 to 12. Enduran Colleges aspires towards being a premier institution of learning by offering quality and value-based education that aims to serve humanity. Enduran College is safe haven and a home away from home. It's registered with the Department of Education and Umalusi accredited. For more information, contact us on 078 452 6264 or follow us on Facebook or Instagram or email us on polokwane@endurancolleges.co.za.
Listen to something fresh. Listen to Salam Media, your humanitarian broadcaster.
Welcome back to the Nafeesa Dangor Show, and we're talking about changing the way we live, things bettering our lives, looking at things that can change our lives for the better. And this one particular gentleman, his name is Ayanda Moses Mbata. I want to tell you about him. He did something phenomenal. He didn't, of course, let his challenges hold him back. And that's what we found so phenomenal about what he did. He's 26 years of age. He's a project engineer at the moment at Rowe Chromatic, South Africa. Ayanda studied a mechanical engineering national diploma from the Tshwane University of Technology. He will be acquiring his BTech degree in mechanical engineering from the Vaal University of Technology this year. His job-seeking journey in 2020, after being retrenched in May, was an interesting experience. He was retrenched due to COVID-19, which resulted in Section 189, and it meant the company couldn't sell its products to the world for that period. He then lost his job. So what he decided to do was, after many interviews and trying to get something, Ayanda decided to market himself at the busy traffic intersection at Blairgowrie and Johannesburg. And he's going to be talking to us about his challenges, his experience, and of course, moving into such an amazing space right now. Very good afternoon to you, Ayanda Moses Mbata. Thank you so much for joining me on the Nafeesa Dangor Show this afternoon.
Hi, Ms. Dangor, and hello to your viewers.
A very good afternoon to you, and thank you so much for taking the time out to join us and, should we say, inspire us in many directions, because that's literally reading your story. When my producer actually gave it to me, I found so phenomenal. It's such an amazing story. You didn't let nothing stop you. Your challenge was something that you persevered with and made sure you overcome. But talk to us a little bit about yourself and your journey.
So basically, the name is Ayanda Moses Mbata. So when last year happened, COVID-19 started lockdown in South Africa. it meant that in my previous organization, they couldn't sell ammunition that we were manufacturing to other countries in the world, which meant that because all the borders were closed, so
Right.
which meant that the company had to go through the Section 189, and going through that, it just meant that I'm young and I'm getting retrenched. I didn't even understand what retrenchment was actually.